Welcome to the Trade Talk Showcase. I'm Larry Lee with Brownfield, and Nick Fassler joins us from BASF. Nick is the man that knows about crop protection and insecticides. Tell us a little bit about what is in the BASF portfolio for crop protection.
Yeah, BASF's been very busy with the insecticide market. Really focused in on that soybean market the last several years. Just a couple of years ago, we launched a product called Safina, and looking forward to here in 2021, we'll be bringing a combination product called Renestra for soybean growers.
What is new about Renestra? What does that do?
So the unique thing about Renestra is that it combines that Safina component, which is very effective and really focused in on that resistant aphid populations we see in the upper Midwest. So, where growers might be struggling getting control with older chemistry of these aphids, Renestra will bring the ability to control them, plus a broad spectrum pyrethroid. So to get those, grasshoppers and beetles and other pests that may be present in the field at the time of application.
Is there a different way or different timing for application, or is it pretty much a product you can use whenever it's needed?
It's pretty much a product that can be used whenever you're needed. So when you think about insects in the field, you really want to scout and monitor those populations and control them before they really start to grow rapidly and accelerate. So, if aphids, for example, you're out there looking in the field, trying to do some counts, looking for populations around 250 aphids per plant or so, with a growing population is an ideal time to get that application made, because it'll stop them in their tracks. And the nice thing about Renestra is you don't have to worry about, are they resistant or aren't they resistant? It's going to provide you control of that population and protect that yield for that soybean grower.
So to cover that again, resistance is not an issue here.
Resistance is an issue when you get in up around northwestern Iowa, Minnesota, that geography. They certainly have resistance, and it is slowly spreading from there. So it is the importance of, rotating modes of action, using multiple modes of action. What we see is aphids maybe don't spread as fast as diseases or even weeds. But you still want to keep that in the back of your mind of using a very effective insecticide, which Renestra will provide that.
As far as the Renestra, you've done some trials on that before launching, I'm sure. What kind of results are you seeing so far?
Yeah, we've done a fair amount of work the last several years. And, basically what we see is those applications knock those populations back, even equivalent to the old OP chemistry, which is very broad spectrum, very effective. The nice thing about Renestra is that it's very, worker safe, and then has that. It's a new mode of action, so bringing that to the mix.
As far as the use of the product, how do farmers get a hold of that? And is there anything they need to know as far as handling it? Anything special?
Regarding handling, nothing very unique there. It's a fairly low use rate, from a worker safety standpoint, more similar to your pyrethroid chemistry, which growers are used to using and handling. And how they get it, we'll be focused on bringing this to the Midwest soybean growers. So it'll be available at your retail locations.
Anything you'd like to add today?
So I would just, encourage growers to keep an eye on their soybean fields, especially as we get later in the season. Kind of when you're thinking yield might be done, that's when aphids can kind of sneak up on you and start to rob some yield. So, keeping that in check. We've had a few light aphid years the last few years, but don't let that put your guard down. So, keeping them checked, looking at the latest chemistry and providing adequate control of them.
You mentioned we've had a few light years for aphids lately, and is there a certain weather pattern or certain conditions that bring them on stronger and farmers should keep an eye on?
Yeah, typically after a light winter or a mild winter, you'll have greater potential for aphid populations the following year, since they do overwinter fairly local. And then if we have drier conditions, in those summer months, so not a lot of rainfall to knock them off plants and wash them away. So managing that will certainly help out.
Anything you'd like to add today, Nick?
No, just really appreciate it and wish growers a successful season here coming up.
Nick Fassler with BASF and Crop Protection Products. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talk Showcase.